So we're gonna do some prints on our paper. So we're gonna use these texture plates, and you roll your roller into the paint. You're gonna move your paper away from it, and now you're gonna roll on top. And only the parts that are raised, that are taller than the other parts, are gonna get paint on it. So now you take this, bring your paper, and you wanna line it up in the corner and then push down. Spread your hands around. Lift it up. Do it again. Some more paint. Roll on the top. Now I'm going to line it up at the bottom of this and press down. Rub your hands across it. Lift it off. I still have a whole strip here, so I don't need to redo it there. And just a little more paint. And now you have a print. Here's another one with a different texture plate. So once your paper is done with your pattern, you're gonna flip it upside down. So you're working on the back, and you're now going to draw your snake. So we wanna go lots of ups and downs. So I'm gonna start here, and I'm gonna go down and up and down and up. Now I'm gonna do the same line following, just don't make it too skinny. So if I take my 2 fingers, it should be at least as wide as my 2 fingers. So I'll make a little mark there, and now I know. Follow the line. If you make it too small, it's gonna be too hard to cut. For the face, or for the head, I just kind of shape it a little bit different. Like that, and now you're going to cut it out. Next, you're going to get your background paper. You're going to choose a texture plate, and it goes underneath your paper, and your texture or your paper goes on top of it. So you want to make sure it's lined up in the corner. We're going to use blue. So you just rub it on the side. And then I need to move my texture plate or move my paper, and then do it again. Again, you can see with my crayon, it does not have a wrapper on it, so I lay it flat. I don't hold it like a pencil. I lay it flat. And you just keep moving it. Until your background has some texture on it. Next, you're gonna get a piece of brown paper, and we wanna tear it the tall way. So I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm gonna tear it in half. I kind of move my fingers down as I tear. It just helps me get a more even tear, but it doesn't really matter. You just need 2 pieces of that brown paper. Then you're going to get an oil pastel, crayon, marker, something, and we're going to start drawing just some different lines on here so it'll look like the tree bark. So it's nothing special, just a couple lines. So we have some texture on our trees. I'm going to choose one of these branches, And I'm going to kind of loop it in and out for my snake. So for me, I think I'm going to take this first part and go underneath my snake's head. And now this part's going to go over the snake. So this next one, I want it to go under. So I'm going to lift my snake up, put that brown paper down, place that back down. And then this part, I think I want the tail to go under. So I just lift it so my tail goes under. I can change where it is, how tall, whatever. I think I like it there. So now I need to take my glue and I need to glue my snake to my branch. So I'm just gonna lift it up a little bit, add some glue, hold it, count to about 10. Again, here's my branch, lift it up a little bit, little glue, hold it, count to 10. I'm gonna do the same thing on the back. Lift up my snake, hold it to 10, and same thing right here. Hold it, count to 10. It should still lay flat. If it's not laying flat, you might have to readjust how you have your glue. It should still lay flat though. Next, I'm going to glue my first strip of my tree to my background. So I think I'm gonna do it like this. It's up to you. It may go off of your paper a little bit on the sides, and that's okay. Now I always lay down my paper before I glue. So I think I like it like this. I want to try to get my snake all the way on my paper. So it's all the way up here on top, down here, and on the sides. So now I'm going to take it, turn it to the back. I need to glue on my branch and on the snake. Make sure you get that tail as well. Okay. Again, making sure it's all the way on my page. You're gonna probably have to move your hand around a little bit. Count to about 20. If you want to add a little tongue to your snake, I'm going to zoom in for you. What I would do is just take the straight side of a paper and draw, and then I would go up and down. So now I only have to cut on one side. This side's already cut straight, so I just cut all the way up. And then I'm actually just gonna go across on here. So now it looks like that. The easiest way to do this is now turn it around, snip one end up, and the other end up. And now you have a little tongue. I would add some glue. Just lift the head a little bit and stick it underneath. Hold it for about 20 seconds. If you want to add any eyes, you can do that with a pencil or a Sharpie. Once I have all this done, I'm going to push it to the side. I'm going to get a green piece of paper and I'm going to get a leaf tracer. So now I want to start as close to the edge as possible, and I'm just going to trace about 10 to 15 leaves. So I'm going to keep doing this until I have about 10 to 15. Once you have about 10 to 15 leaves, the best way to do this is if you just cut them into smaller sections. So I'm going to cut this one, just like that. I'm going to go in between these because I spaced them out pretty well. And now I'm going to cut those ones up. And now it's easier for me to cut these little pieces. Again, you're in charge of your paper. So spin your paper with your free hand. Well, there's one. Start on the edge. I'm turning my paper with this hand. My scissors aren't moving very much. So you're going to cut all of your leaves out. If I have time, I'm going to take my leaves, and if you can see that you have some pencil marks, we're going to flip them over. And I'm going to use some crayons, markers, colored pencils, oil pastel to give some detail. So I might just do like a line on one side, maybe some going like that. It's your choice. You can make them different. They can vary in how they look. I might use some lighter color. The lighter ones are kind of hard to see, but it's there. Just kind of switching them up a little bit. On my designs. So there's just some different designs for you that you could choose from for your leaves. Now that my leaves are done, I'm going to first kind of lay them out. I kind of like to do bunches of 3. They just look good together. You can have some of them coming off the page, that's fine. They can overlap onto your snake as well, that's okay. That's where I like mine. You can choose to put yours wherever, and then you're going to take it where your design is, it flips over, glue, hold and count to 10. Make sure you're holding them so they actually stay. If at this point I have time and I want to add more leaves, I can cut some more out. If I'm happy with how it looks, then you're going to bring it to me. Leave the edges hanging off and I will cut those off for you. Please do not do it yourself. So if you're happy with your paper and you have at least 10 leaves, you can do more. and they're glued on, everything's sticking, you're good to go.